Welcome to the Soma Talks podcast, sponsored by Coda Kitchen and Senor Sangria. Ileana, we have some breaking news. This just came down the pike not too long ago. The principal, Frank Sanchez, the criminal charges have been dropped against Frank Sanchez, according to, the Village Green, and it's now, it's all over Facebook as well. But according to the Village Green article written by Mary Mann, she... of course, is the wonderful writer for the Village Green. The grand jury declined to indict Columbia High School principal Frank Sanchez on criminal charges. Multiple sources have confirmed the update. The grand jury declined to indict Sanchez on second-degree child endangerment, but did not rule on simple assault. So as far as that's because that's the latest regarding that. But as far as him going to prison for a long time, that's not happening. So. Good news for Sanchez and his family, and obviously the Sanchez supporters. What do you think about that, Ileana?
Hi, everyone. What could I tell you? Like I told you, my phone has been blowing in the last hour, going back and forth with a lot of people. Some people are happy that...
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine some people are happy. A lot of people are happy. I know now we had James Davis on a few weeks ago. James, of course, is the attorney for the child who's in the middle of all this. That's the high school child that was allegedly involved in some type of interaction with the principal that led to ultimately to his arrest and these charges. So just to clarify, because I've been seeing here on Facebook, some people are saying, well, this is a real bad news for Black Parents Workshop and James Davis. Yes, I would imagine it would be. But James, again, as he explained to us, the criminal charges had nothing to do with him. He's the civil charges. He's going after the school system. He's going after monetary damages regarding the student. But nevertheless, as far as Frank Sanchez is concerned, it looks like he's not completely in the clear. But as far as the really dangerous charges, that's over with. Perhaps he'll get his job back. I don't know. What do you think, Ileana?
No, I read somewhere that they're not going to renew his contract.
I would imagine
They're not.
He might not want his contract renewed either after all this.
I did read somewhere they're not going to renew his contract again. So, and I think he wouldn't want to come back either after all this has happened. So, yeah, the charge for the second-degree endangerment of the welfare of a child, he was acquitted. That's good. However, he still have to face the simple assault.
Right. So
which it will be scheduled sometime soon.
Okay. So right. So I'm just reading, and again, Mary Mann, you are the man, Mary Mann, you are the man. Great article. Walter Fields of the Black Parents Workshop. Now, Walter is the founder of the BPW.
Oh, he did make a statement.
Yes.
Did you read it?
Yes, I'm reading it to you right now, which is providing legal representation to the student in the incident. Also issued a press release. Fields wrote in part, while disappointed with the decision by an Essex County grand jury to not indict former Columbia High School principal Frank Sanchez for his assault on a student, we respect the criminal justice system and the decision. The grand jury did not believe that the altercation rose to the level of second-degree criminal assault. This is why there are two sides to the law, criminal and civil, and we do not accept the grand jury as the last word in the pursuit of justice for the student. We will support any and all efforts to achieve justice for this student. So there you go. Friends of Frank, a group of local parents, which, by the way, we reached out to and they never got back to us. I mean, it was almost like a dead email. Now, apparently they're alive because they issued us press release as well. Friends of Frank said from the beginning that Frank should be exonerated. We are gratified that the grand jury agreed that the case against him was without merit. So there's that.
Did you read this part? I did. This was interesting what he said in that thing. He says, there is a reason Mr. Sanchez was suspended and is no longer the principal of Columbia High School, just as there is a reason his own union never came to his defense.
Yeah.
We believe he abused his authority and violated the trust of this student. Whether his offense rose to the status of a crime was a decision made by the Office of the Essex County Prosecutor.
Now, who's saying this?
This is Walter.
This is Walter. Okay.
Yeah. PBW supported that decision but had no role in it. If the grand jury had indicted Mr. Sanchez, we would have respected it, just as we respected the decision not to indict. However, there are other standards by which Mr. Sanchez can and should be held accountable, and these have yet to be exhausted.
All right, so according to BPW, it's not over for the school system at least. Sanchez, obviously, he's got this one charge, I guess, still sitting there, but I don't know much about that. But okay, the school system, has a track record of settling these cases. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say they have a track record of it, but I'm thinking about the hijab case, hijab gate. They settled very quickly with that little girl's parents.
I don't think that was very settled that quick.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't settled quickly, but it was settled. It was settled, and
It was settled,
for a
but-
lot more money than a lot of people thought was something that the family deserved. But there were others, of course, that feel that the family was well in their means to get what they did receive. But we don't know how this is going to turn out. But as far as friends of Frank is concerned, congratulations, people. You should be.
I'm
you should
still
be
in the
feeling pretty good.
neutral zone. I never picked anybody's side. I didn't take the student's side or either Sanchez, the principal. I was hoping to see more evidence.
Yeah.
So I could decide it. I didn't want to go with hearsay. Because There
Right.
was a lot of hearsay going
Right.
on. And the only evidence that was really out there was the video
Yes.
and the witnesses that most of us have not seen.
Right. Well, I just didn't want to see anybody go to prison, not for this, and that was scary. Davis came in. He sold a good reason as to why. And again, if you want to go back and listen to that podcast, that was our first podcast, Soma Talks podcast,
episode 1.
I think more than now, you may want to check out and hear exactly what he said. So I don't want to put words in his mouth because we have the words recorded. But yeah, ultimately, again, James Davis never really seemed that interested in the criminal charges as pertaining to what he was doing as an attorney. But I would imagine he can't help the civil case. Now, I don't know these things. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal guy by any
No,
stretch
me
of
neither.
imagination. I know O.J. Simpson was found not guilty, but then civilly he was found guilty of the murders. And so I'm just thinking about legal cases that have crossed my. That's a big one. So I don't know. Well, if the criminal's charge dropped, does that mean that the civil is as good as
Well,
dropped
the
as
civil,
well?
I know
Or not
that
happening?
the civil one is going against the school district, and school district's not going to look good with this one because obviously someone dropped the ball.
Right.
If
right.
they would have handled this right away, maybe none of this would have happened to Sanchez.
Right. Yeah, no. That's seemingly what Davis kind of indicated. He kind of indicated the school hadn't dragged their feet. He talked about how other teachers had been suspended immediately. Talked about the Montrose school. The child was held upside down. Teacher was suspended immediately. Hijab gate. Though it does look like Davis was more involved in that case than I realized, but that teacher was shown the door quickly and suspended. So, but when it came to this, the school seemed to not be that interested in doing anything about it until BPW became involved.
Well, Davis' point was like he should have been suspended right away.
That's what Davis said.
As soon as she filed that paper, he should have been suspended and have been an investigation.
Right.
But they never did that.
No, that's
So
true.
So who's in fault here?
Yeah.
The school district, apparently.
I mean, if someone's going to screw something up, it's going to be the school district. It just seems like that's now, as
The school district can't get it together, can they?
Now we have some other news that we're going to be talking about on this podcast shortly, including there's a new superintendent that's been chosen. So perhaps I don't know if he'll be involved quickly but there's a new sheriff in town. So
There is, and there's hope.
right.
I was there when the Board of Ed
Right.
voted. Everybody was unanimous. There was a lot of hope in that room, and I like that. I really do. I
Right.
saw Rocio Lopez. She said she had a lot of hope that she wanted to work with him.
Right.
He looks very prepared. His resume, I've heard people that he has a great resume.
Right.
It looks like he's good for the job. So
Right. So there's that. So if this podcast sounds a little choppy, by the way, it's because we recorded this podcast right before we were going to send it out. This broke. We wanted to get into the studio. We wanted to let you know what's going on with this in case you didn't know. There's also been Ileana and I, and this is changing the subject a little bit. And again, we talked about other things that you're going to listen to very shortly before. This is after. Ileana and I have been fighting a lot because Ileana is the type of person that likes to fight with me all the time. And I'm the type of person that likes to fight with Ileana all the time. So we've been fighting a lot lately. So I know some of you on Soma Talks been like, we want more drama. Well, here's your fucking drama, Sarantakis. Here's your drama, okay? Ileana and I are trying to figure out where we want this podcast to go, what we want it to achieve with it. I believe we want to get some guests that want to come on. I was a little ticked off that all the candidates refused to come on. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't like that. I thought that was bullshit. They should have come on our podcast. I'm trying to get these candidates to come on. We just had the Assemblywoman on. People are saying, it was a boring interview. All right, look, it was an Assemblywoman. Yeah, did she bring anything to the table that was breaking? No. But you know what? She's a friend of mine. She can get us good candidates, good politicians, good people on. That's what I want to do. I also want drama, and I want it funny, and I want the fart jokes, and I want to make fun of Paul J. Haley. But there are certain people that I don't want to talk about. John Saran talks about. Why don't you talk about them? Because John, I don't want to talk about people that don't matter, okay? Because and Ileana differs with me. She feels that we should widen our scope as to who and what we talk about. So anyway, Ileana?
To be fair on John, it's not only John that thinks that way.
Yeah, but he's the loudest, so he gets smacked.
I think that's one of the reasons why Soma Talks came popular. That we discuss things that other groups wouldn't dare to discuss.
Right. A Facebook group is a little bit different. Now, this is a business that we own, okay? So it's a little bit different. Now, I don't want to get into any legalities or anything like that, but I do think there's a place for a message board and to say, he said this about me and she said that about me and I can't believe this happened and that person's mean to me. And I'm not sure the podcast is where it's at. I think this is more of a radio show where we want to entertain people. And I'm not sure just saying, she backed into my car and he gave me the middle finger and who does he think he is?
People don't want to admit it, but it does entertain them.
I guess it does. I mean, speed bumps.
Like when I did the poll, the number one was the drama.
Right.
That was the majority. And then the second one was interview people that do make a change in the town. That was the second. That was the second one. So people do like to hear about people that have influence in both towns, like Dean Daffis, Rocio Lopez, like people like that they're trying to make a difference. They would like that.
Yeah, but if they're not going to come on. Look, I have no problem talking about Dean Daffis. I have no problem talking about any elected leaders. I do have trouble talking about people that aren't elected to any office. Just a local loudmouth. They like to go to meetings and cause arguments. I mean, those. I don't know.
The poll was the latest whispers we hear on social media in town. I can believe that one won over talking about anything else.
So which one won? The so far, which poll is the latest whispers?
Poll where the latest whisper we hear on social media in town.
23 votes.
Yeah, that was the first one. Then the second one was interview local people that have influence in this town.
Right.
And then the third one was discuss the latest hot topic in Soma.
Okay, all right. Look, we're going to try to do that. We want to be funny. We want to be entertaining. We want to be interesting. But look, also we want to talk to important people too. And we're new. Soma Talks. Not the reputation. We know it's a great Facebook page. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that smear it. And it's kind of like the ugly what is it? A redheaded stepchild of Soma. I get that. I think Ileana and I we're pretty talented at what we're doing right now, and I think we're putting together good podcasts. Look, if one's a dud, if you didn't like the one with the Assemblywoman, I'm sorry. Look, she came on, she talked about some things of importance. I think you ought to look her up. I think you ought to send her emails if you have a problem with anything at all. That's somebody who would step up and try to help you. Now you know who she is. But if you want to talk, about local politicians that you're more familiar with, I get that too. But I tell you what, the local politicians, they look up to her. Okay, it's not the other way around.
People don't mind hearing here and there a little bit about politics, but they're trying to stay away. I think they like the more entertaining part.
Yeah, no, I get that. And
like something that they leave the podcast feeling like, oh, that was a great. I had fun hearing it and things like that.
Right. And the Board of Ed stuff, we will not drop the ball on the Board of Ed stuff. We're trying to get Board of Ed people in here.
I heard someone told me, like, oh, I saw the title and I didn't even open it. I was like,
right, and that's fine. You know what? It's not every podcast can be for you. But I'll tell you what, this podcast I think is going to be for you because...
but they did like Davis coming in because he had the juicy.
Or I'll tell you what, Okay, so again, this is a choppy podcast coming up because, as I said, Ileana, earlier, we recorded everything before
recorded everything. What was
Right.
it? The day before yesterday.
Right. And we, you know,
And we had a little disagreement.
we
about
had a
them.
disagreement about some of the content, and so anyway, Ileana sent me 9 text messages and 15 voicemails, and I think it's 16 voicemails, and some are actually in
So
Spanish.
basically, we're adding.
Yeah, but
the-
when you get really mad, you talk in Spanish because I think this was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're trying to say that the podcast we recorded 2 days ago and today will be mixed.
Be mixed up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Yeah. So Coke. Is that? It's cocksucker. Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus, Ileana. I didn't realize you spoke like that. Here I am sitting next to a lady that says, "Oh my gosh, Ileana, this is terrible." No, I'm sorry. Paul J. Haley is a cocksucker. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, come in. We also talk about Paul J. Haley, who has left the podcast. He has not left the podcast. He has left Soma Talks. Hopefully, just for a short period of time. We'll get into that. We're going to get into the the new Board of Ed member. We also get into Caitlin, right? We talk about her.
We talked about her.
Right. Yeah. So,
yeah, that's in another tape.
Yeah. So we got some fine and dandy stuff to talk about. Ileana, why don't we take a short break? Then we'll figure out how to edit this all in. You might hear me do the welcome to Soma Talks podcast again. You might actually hear me say that a second time, just if that's how the editor needs to do it. We do have a professional editor. His name's Eli Navi. Anybody who wants to hire him, the guy's really talented and very handsome. Looks just like his dad. And
yes, he's a cutie. He's a cutie.
all right, so Ileana, I'm gonna take a few minutes. We're gonna make out for a few minutes, make up sex, I think,
Yeah.
right? And then we'll be back shortly with the Soma Talks podcast. Thank you. Welcome to the Soma Talks podcast, sponsored by Coda Kitchen and Lux 45 Lifestyle Boutique and Senor Sangria. I'm Lee Navlin, and once again, I am joined by Miluz Azucar, Ileana Castillo.
Yay! How are you?
What do you think of that? That's Spanish.
I know.
It means my light sugar, I believe.
Really?
Is that what that's what I when I looked it up, I was trying to find some way to describe you. And Miluz Azucar. Yeah, is that my light sugar, or am I completely off on that? I decided, we need a new nickname for you every week. I really struggled this week.
Lose this
I
light
was like
of sugar.
I was like maybe the Mistress of Darkness. I was
Mistress
thinking,
of Darkness.
something like that. Yeah, Mistress of Darkness, Ileana Castillo.
Oh my God.
Or anyway, so that what
You got jokes, huh?
I'm working on my Spanish, But you're going to be in the Dominican Republic next week, so
I know.
So you'll be,
Next Wednesday, I'm going to visit my mom. For
So
the record, she's 91. Can you believe my
that's
mom
amazing.
is 91?
God bless. That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Yes.
but that doesn't mean we're not going to do the podcast. We will still be doing the podcast, correct?
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll try. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Well, we have the technology
While
to
I'm
do
in the
it.
beach having my cocktail,
right.
you're
I'll
going to
be
here.
sitting in this 3x5 room. Yes,
Yeah,
watching
no,
you in your bikini, sitting there ordering drinks. Yes, ordering Senor Sangria.
Oh,
right.
my, exactly.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like a plan. But so it's your mother's birthday, did you say?
No.
Oh,
no,
you're just
no.
going down to just see her. And
No,
it's-
no, I'm going to take care of her for a
good,
little
good,
bit now
good.
that schools are closing.
Right, you
No.
got some time to see her finally. And you speak Spanish with your mom?
Fluently.
Okay, in the Dominican Republic, you'll be speaking Spanish?
We only speak Spanish.
So-
she knows English, but we talk completely
Right. So if we do the podcast, we'll do that in English.
Correct,
Even though,
yes.
as you now
You'll
can
probably
see.
see my mom walking behind me while we're doing the podcast.
Because I want to impress her with Miluz Azucar.
Azucar,
yes,
oh my God.
Yes, my light sugar, basically, which is kind of, I guess, a coffee, more than a person. But
Oh, come on. We got so much to talk about.
we got so much to talk about.
Let's start with
Let's talk about last week.
Well,
Let's talk
the
about-
election.
Last week, basically, a few things happened that were a little surprising. I mean, number one.
No, let me ask you
Yes,
this.
yes.
Were you surprised to see how things ended? Were you surprised to see Malia and Adams winning?
No, I was not. Malia Herman ran a beautiful campaign. Congratulations to Malia. Nancy Adams garnered the most votes. Congratulations, Nancy. Look, Jermaine Cripe. There are thousands of Jewish people who live in Soma. These are good people. They go about doing their business. They've lived here for generations, and you know what? They were slighted. I don't believe Cripe understood exactly how significant they were to her to the base, and they turned on her. They turned on. I think she would have had their support if not for her stance on Palestine. She blew it.
I'll tell you something. There's a moral of the story in this. Don't mess with the Jewish
You're
community.
right.
Don't mess with them.
At the very least, don't ignore them. Don't act like they don't exist. Don't go to a meeting or a rally in South Orange and say
so
that.
you're telling me that if she would have not said what she said, there was a good chance she probably could have went over Malia? Is that kind of what you're telling me?
I think it would have been closer because I know there was the bullet vote. There was a bullet vote specifically for Malia. So I think a lot of people said, hey, I don't want to vote for Kripe. I know Nancy's running with her. I don't know enough about Nancy, so I'm going to bullet it for Malia, which gave Malia a lot of votes that maybe Kripe would have gotten some of those votes too. Maybe Nancy would have gotten some. So I don't know if it would have been a difference, but I do know that, when there's 3 people running for 2 seats, you need everybody to vote for you. I don't need the Muslim vote. I don't need the Jewish vote. You need it all. So back off of the national issues. Back off of the international issues. Don't get involved in issues that are going to blow up in your face. It blew up in her face.
Well, something that I did notice, and I think a lot of people noticed that, and I think a lot of people were surprised to see this, how close was Malia to Adams in the voting? Like, she was 100 votes less than Adams. Does that tell you something about the community? Like, do you think the community wants someone fresh? Like, you think they're tired? Like,
I think money talks, name recognition.
Or you think that her team was very well organized?
She was very well organized. First off, she had, and I know Fred Profeta was involved, and Fred as was, for those of you who knew.
So she had the dream team.
He was the mayor. He was once upon a time a smart guy, knows his stuff. Right? She certainly had Dean in her camp, Dean Daffis in her camp, a brilliant guy, smart guy. Deb Engel was support. I mean, so these are people in the town. Very rare that a township committee
Frank McGee.
Yeah, McGahee.
That used to be mayor.
When you have people on the township committee that are turning on you as an incumbent, that's unusual. It happened. The Maplewood Democratic Committee, as strong and organized and focused as they are on making sure they have the right candidates.
I feel like the town was a little divided between half wanted Kripe and half wanted Malia because they were very close. It was a very close election. I mean, come on, Malia was 100 votes less than Nancy Adams. And Kripe was like maybe 500 less, something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a very close call.
Jermaine Kripe did a good job on the township committee, other than her stance internationally. Look, I've met her. I thought she was a very nice woman. I was impressed. Very intelligent woman. I know Nancy Adams ran with her. I spoke to Nancy about it. Nancy said, "Look, I know she's saying things she shouldn't say, but she is a smart woman. She had a lot of support, but she turned on." And I'm not even sure she understood what was happening, but you can't turn on the Jewish people in Soma. Don't do it if you want to get elected.
That is very clearly that the township committee have to leave international politics out of
these rallies that you go to. Half of these people at the rally, more than half of them, they're not even from Soma. They're from New York. They're from I don't know where they're from. They're showing up. You're standing in front of them. You're making speeches in front of them. You're saying things you shouldn't say. Jermaine, you know what? I'm really sorry that. I'm saying these things about you because I think you're a really nice person. But
no, we're not saying anything wrong about her.
This was a bad way to run a campaign.
This hurt her.
And by the way,
hurt her.
I'm a Jewish guy. You know what I mean? And so personally, I think what you did was terrible. Okay, and by the way, you know what? I don't. That doesn't mean I'll never vote for you or I will never support you or anything like that. No, you know what? Hat in hand, say I was, and you did. By the way, you did apologize, but I don't think the apology resonated because I don't believe people really felt bad about not understanding the issue. I think it was more you felt bad that you hurt feelings. Not that you didn't understand the issue. I'm sorry, I didn't understand what was going on. It would have been better than I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
Well, like I said, I'm hats off to all the Jewish community. You guys are very well organized, and I have to give it to you. Because you guys, you're very well organized.
Yes,
Look, it hit her.
Yes,
it hit her.
Yes, well, I'd like to take all the credit for the organization of the Jewish people.
I know.
Okay, that is me. Yes, I am the head Jew of Maplewood and South Orange.
Don't mess with the Jewish community.
But look again. So bottom line, congratulations to Nancy. Congratulations to
Yeah,
to
congratulations
Malia
to
Herman.
Malia. Hey,
Yes.
Crip still has until January, so
Yeah,
you
and
know.
I tell you, I feel bad as I was mispronouncing Malia's name. And
Malia.
Malia, now that I know who you are, now that you're an elected official, you never again will. Well, you still got to run in November, but you'll.
You know,
Unless a Republican
quick
manages to beat
story.
you for the first time in the history of
Quick
Soma.
story: when I was outside one of the bowling poles, you know how many people I met? I saw Vic, which, by the way, because I wanted to interview a couple of people,
Sure.
and I wanted to interview Vic. He was hesitated, but the
Yeah.
only way he was going to do the interview, he only wanted to say hi. He's
Yeah.
been listening to you. He was really
All
happy
right.
to hear that you were. I saw Vic.
Vic's a good dude. Vic's a good. He's doing it. You know what?
Yeah,
Vic,
he's
Vic,
starting to grow a little
Vic,
bit on me. I don't know. Now he's more
right.
smiling. I
Yeah.
saw Deborah Angel. I saw Malia.
Deborah Engel. Yeah, yes.
I saw. Oh, I saw Steve Latz. He was there.
Steve Latz.
Yes, he
the
was
mysterious
there.
Steve Latz. Yes.
He was there. Promoting.
yeah.
He was campaigning for Cripe Bananas.
He's
He
been
was
very
there.
involved in Board of Ed elections. For those of you unfamiliar with him, he's I'm not exactly sure how he does it, but candidates really seem to lean on his expertise at the Board of Ed. So
I saw Cripe. I saw Nancy Adams. I saw Malia. I saw like I even saw Rocio Lopez.
yeah,
I was like, it was just like, girl. Yeah, I saw everybody there.
So you were actually there, not only interviewing people, but then you also took some time to campaign a little bit for Malia.
I did. For a little brief moment, I was handing out some pamphlet because at the time there was no one there. And Alana came up and gave me a couple of
Alana Bryan, who we met last
week. She
Lovely
gave me a couple
woman.
of flyers. She was on one side and I was on the other side.
Yeah. I mean, you wanted to help this person win. You really in our camp. And look, and I'm
You know how many people I've helped in campaigning?
You know what? By the way, Ileana is a friend of people that want to do good in Maplewood. And I know, Ileana, you're a lightning rod. Soma talks. It's the Republican side. Ileana, you do so much good for this community because you care about this community. You care about the people here.
Nobody has no idea how much I've done for this community.
Right.
I just don't say it.
I know
but
there are,
everybody sees me everywhere doing something.
I know there are social justice groups, Facebook groups here that don't like you. They don't like Soma Talks. I've heard whispers about this podcast being an issue for them. But you know what? We're not going to mention names here because, you know what, Ileana, I feel strongly about this. We're going to mention people that make a difference in this community. Nancy Adams, Jermaine Cripe, Malia.
Dean Daffis, Rocio Lopez.
Right.
Yeah.
These are people that make a difference. Run for office, volunteer, get involved. I don't think getting involved is going to meetings and yelling at people or accusing people of being this or that, and then going on to Facebook and starting feuds.
You heard about that?
Yeah, I did. I understand what happened. And the other big news was the Board of Ed. They have
a new superintendent.
They have a new superintendent now. He seems very qualified. I guess he's from up in Dutchess County. That's New York, Poughkeepsie area. I haven't read too much about him. Of note, he is a white man. He has replaced an African-American interim superintendent who replaced an African-American superintendent that was basically fired.
What's it called? I was going to say Sanchez, not Sanchez. What was his name? The prior
Taylor.
Taylor, Dr.
Right,
Taylor,
right.
Dr. Taylor, sorry.
Right, and so his name is Bing. His last name is Bing. Of note, him being white is what that says to me is, again, what I think we had a situation here in this board of the Board of Ed now is looking at all candidates for the best candidate because, as opposed to just looking for a certain demographic. And that's how you find your best candidates, when you look at the whole field, not just, it's a woman. It's a woman from the Dominican Republic. If that was the only one you wanted to hire to be on your Board of Ed, you would be narrowing down your list of candidates. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's not happening anymore.
I was there when all the Board of Ed voted for him. It was the first time I feel like they were all unanimous that they had hope that this person would do something good. I really liked the feeling in that room. I really did. I
you were
really have
there.
high hopes. Rocio Lopez, of course, she was there. No, people are gonna think I'm a big fan. I am a big fan.
Yes,
gotta
well,
gotta
you know
give
what?
it. Gotta give it to her.
She was one cool lady.
She
Rocio
did.
Lopez.
And Rocio even had hope. Like, I'm looking forward to work with the superintendent. She saw that he had really good intentions. So there is hope, guys. Let's just hope for the best. Give him this guy a chance. You know,
That's right.
hopefully.
But I would tell you this. I would tell you this. What you did, and none of these social justice groups, all of them, it did. Here's why I'm proud of you. Okay, so we had 2 white women knock off a black woman from Maplewood Township Committee. Then we had a white man chosen to be the superintendent to replace a black man. Your response at Soma Talks was to fire a white man, boot him off the site, Paul J. Haley. So congratulations on that. Kudos. Okay, someone taking a stand finally, and say, look, white guy, enough, hit the road. Yeah, so, but...
He is in timeout on Soma Talk.
Paul, I think he quit. And he'll come back.
He did. He left the group. He did. You
know what? I like Paul. I used to not like Paul. He came on here. He was a funny fucking guy. Excuse my French. He was a lot funnier than I thought. He'd be a little long-winded, but you know what? That's fine. We edited it down. We had some fun. I mean, if you heard that podcast of Paul, I thought it was a riot. But
we're making Paul Haley very famous.
You know what? That's good.
People are going to start wondering, who the hell is Paul?
You know
Haley?
what? He's good. His band plays. Paul J. Haley, Facebook. Look him up. He'll accept your friendship, even if you're a bot. He doesn't care. But he's not on. He's not on Soma Talks. And you know what? I know it was talking a little bit too much about politics, and that incensed, I guess one of the moderators who I don't particularly like, not you, Russell, but anyway, bottom line is, Paul, you know what?
We have some sad news.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but I think the community knows that Caitlin Whitler is not running anymore for Board of Ed. I'm not surprised that she is throwing the towel on this one. She got a lot of heated when the other board president was there. Caitlin didn't have it easy. She really didn't. And
well, my understanding is that and just reading some of the comments under her announcement that she had left, people were really complimenting her on studying, knowing the issues,
she was
doing her homework, and that I think was, as Rocio said to us, she felt that there was some there that didn't do that. They were on the board and they didn't do their homework. They didn't pay attention. They came in preconceived, and they just went in and said, well, this is the easiest way to go about doing this job, and but yeah, I mean, I'm just looking on her Facebook wall right now where she
did a lot. Here, someone mentioned Whitler advocated for adequate transportation in the committee. She was advocate for adequate transportation placement system that operated on something other than compulsory permanent random assignment. She researched what other district did, made phone calls, learned how unusual our system was. She advocated for the transfer system like all other integration plan district offers. She defeated Ronald Taylor's attempt to slow walk a transfer process in 2024, at which time new board members would have blocked the program. So she did a lot.
No, I mean,
the girl, got to give it to her.
Yeah, she's tired, and it's hard work, and it's been traumatic, and it's been this district is in disarray, and you know what? We need more Caitlin. We need not less. We need more. Hopefully those that decide to step up into the game realize they're going to beat the shit out of you, but you know what? You can make a good difference. You can make a difference that counts. Caitlin did that.
Well, there's going to be 3 chairs open. So Caitlin's chair is open, Aaron's chair is open, and Kwame chair's open. So Caitlin is gone. So
she got 6 months left, right?
She got 6 months left.
Okay,
so I don't know yet. Aaron and Kwame have not said anything if they're going to run or not, which I have a feeling they will.
Yeah.
Word on the street is that they're cut loose with Steve Lads.
Yeah, so Steve may not be involved anymore.
Allegedly, because Steve Lads was with them when they run the first time, but I heard recently that allegedly Kwame and Aaron broke off with Steve Ladd. So Steve Ladd right now is recruiting people.
He's recruiting. Yeah, he still wants to do what he does. I guess he does.
I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, I mean,
I heard it was about the turf. There
Well,
was some disagreement with the turf.
all right, yeah, all right. You know, it's
They had different opinions about that.
I mean, hopefully, it was just about the money that this district is burning through. I mean, do you know right now? You know what I've learned about this district? There is no head of the special ed department right now. There is no head of the special ed. I just
Nope.
learned
No special ed.
I mean, if your child right now has an IEP, or he's or she is special needs, whatever the case is, that's what's going on in this district right now. And it's the special ed teachers who are dedicated, hardworking people in the school system. I think that they're writing up their own rules because there's nobody to go ahead and say let's universal this thing. So they're working together, and that's crazy. The guidance counselor, the head of the guidance department at Columbia High School, doesn't exist anymore. What are they called? The guidance, the head of guidance, maybe. Right? And that's what Rosie was saying to us also. I mean, what the hell is going on here?
And then you wonder why people are putting their kids in
private school or
school.
getting the hell out of Dodge. I mean, what the hell is going on? So there is a new school board superintendent. God willing, this is the guy. Enough with the with anything but finding the best people to do the job. Malia. By the way, you know how I know how to say Malia now? Because I was saying Malai. It's
Malia.
Malia. Yes, I've been singing a song because I don't blow it because I'd read Malia.
Remember Maria? Malia.
Malia.
That's how
Maria. Da 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 da. Malia. Maria. So that's it, rolling around in my head since Malia. So when you corrected me, Malia Herman. That's yeah. But then I came up with a funny nickname for Malia too. Malia Herman Munster.
Oh my God,
that's kind of funny, right? Sorry, Malia. If anyone says that to you on the street, Malia Herman Munster, you say Lee Navin.
I'm saying Malia everywhere now.
Bitch, that's right.
She's taking her job very serious. She's not even in the office. She's already doing her rounds. Gotta give it to her.
Congratulations to Malia. Congratulations to Nancy. You know what? You guys are good people. You're gonna do a great job.
And Cripe too. Thank you for
Jermaine. You know what?
you.
Jermaine, you're good people. You're good people. It was the whole.
I might not have voted for you, but I appreciate what you did for the town and your dedication.
But Jermaine, I don't believe that you are a bigot. I do not believe that you are a bigot. So chin up. You know what? You're going to be on here to January. Plenty of time to do great things.
Maybe she'll run again, and maybe she'll win again.
Yeah, look,
you never know.
Maybe she'll run as a Republican.
I don't think we're ever going to see anybody.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think we're ever going to see. You know that the last person that ran as independent was me? Someone pointed it out.
Was you the last one to run as independent?
Yeah, I was the last one. No one has run after me as an independent. And especially, no one's going to run as a Republican.
Oh, I didn't realize you were an independent. I'm doing this podcast with an independent.
Yes, you are.
I'm ashamed of myself. All right, so look, we need to.
One more thing. We had to miss a Pride Festival just happened last Sunday.
Okay.
Did you go?
Okay. No, I was unable. I was out of town. I was unable to make the Pride Festival.
No, I was
but
there.
I saw your Facebook pictures, and
I was there. I volunteered a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
The band looked Sarah Hode, but I never say names right.
I didn't focus too much because I was with.
But the band sounded great. It looked like very colorful, exciting, happy.
I saw a lot of people. I volunteered for a little bit, and then I went to John Sarantaki's tent.
Yeah.
He was in the other side of the tent. He was giving out Oreo's cookie for free.
Did you see, by the way, they were supposed to be there, the Soma for Palestine or whatnot?
I did not see none of that.
They were trying to organize something.
I didn't see any of that. I personally didn't see it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I was just there having fun.
I don't know. Right. I mean, Soma for Palestine, an LGBT event.
Come on.
You know what happens in Palestine to the LGBT community? I mean, guys, there's
they would not last 24 hours.
Maybe they realized that as they were walking over there. This might be a bad idea.
Yeah. No, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything.
anything.
I'm happy they didn't see that because that would have killed the mood. Everybody had so much fun.
Exactly. It was a fun event. You know
I
what?
had fun.
Right. You know what? But people weren't. Well, war is war, and we got to talk about it. We got
no,
time and a place.
It was a place that everybody was there having fun and enjoying.
It was peace and love and happiness.
Peace and love. Yes,
right,
it was there.
That's exactly.
Yeah, I had my fun and I gossiped with John Sarantaki. No, I didn't gossip.
John Sarantakis is a good man. I want to get him on the show. I love his posts. Great, right, John?
Yeah.
You the man, John. We love you. We love you, John.
Love you.
Yeah. By the way, is John gay? Why was he at the LGBT?
No, John is.
John is gay?
Yeah. He has his partner. Yeah,
I didn't realize it was like a
John
gay,
Sarantakis,
it's like a
yeah.
gay Archie
I
Bunker.
cannot believe we're talking about his life here.
Gay Archie Bunker, John Sarantakis. I had no idea.
I know.
No, John, I love you. You're a good man. I love your posts. You really, Sarah. Soma Talks is alive and
He
well.
will come. He will come.
Because of posters like you and Michael Goldberg. We've said the names before. And Stephanie Gomez, by the way. I want to mention Stephanie Gomez too. She's another person. I've been reading a lot of her posts lately. I like what she has to say, so I just thought I'd throw that name in there. And
there you go.
Jessica, right? There's Jessica. Yeah, there's another one.
Jessica. You know who I haven't seen post lately, and I have to reach out to? Madu Pai. She kind of disappeared.
Yeah,
she used to post so much, and all of a sudden, like I was like, oh.
Her boss is probably, what are you doing? And she's like, what? She's like, it's not work.
I know she started working again.
Yeah,
she changed. I think she changed jobs, but still,
No,
I miss you, Madu.
I heard she doesn't like us. That's why.
No, no, she like us.
So thanks again for tuning into the Soma Talks podcast. Ileana and Castillo. Bye-bye.